Hello everyone, my name is Sushant and he is Srijit. We went to Marungetarafa, Ambega, Kushere Budruk and Sakeri villages for our field stay, course TD 609 in May and July 2014. The associated NGO was Shashwat. The project area was 3 villages, namely Sakeri, Marungetarafa, Ambega and Kushere Budruk. The area of Sakeri was 1245 hectares, wherein the other 2 villages were quite less in the area. Average rainfall was around 3000 mm and it was in the starting of Sahyadri ranges. The elevation ranges from 709 to 780 meters. We can see the nearest city is around 60 kilometers away, that is Manchar, and Bhimashankar sanctuary is about 20 kilometers away from the project area. All 3 villages reside in Ambega Taluka, which is Dimbe backwater Taluka in the Pune district. Let's talk about demographics of these villages. Marungetarafa, Ambega and Sakeri are in common Gram Panchayat called Patan, whereas Kushere Budruk has its own Gram Panchayat. If we consider the household population, Sakeri has the highest, around 60 households and 292 population. The poverty situation is quite intense, as in 80% of Sakeri village has a below poverty level attribute, while tribes residing are Mahadav Koli and Katkari. We can see the highest forest land cover in Sakeri, that is 54%. Almost major of the land source is rain fed, that is they are paddy growers, while literacy rates are ranging around 75%. Firstly, consider agriculture. There are 2 types of agriculture in the area, a rain fed agriculture and a drawdown agriculture. In drawdown agriculture, water is pumped from the river and then fed to the bajra crops. Soil types are completely different. We have some red soil and blackish soils, where our crops taken in rain fed are paddy, gram, peas, ragi and varai. In bajra, in drawdown it is bajra, wheat and vegetables. Productivity is quite different, as in paddy gives 20 quintal per acre, while bajra gives 6 quintal per acre. In terms of irrigation, kharif is done through rain fed or diverted irrigation channel. In rabi, the dam water is lifted by pumps. We can see the graph that rice dominates the production. It is followed by bajra and wheat. The major problem experienced are diesel pump malfunction, money related issues, high static head to pump the water and irregular schedules of dam water levels. In the energy sector, we can see there are 3 primary utilities like electricity, domestic lighting, cooking and agriculture. Primary utility domestic lighting, they use CFLs and incandescent bulb. The average electricity consumption is around 10 to 15 units. Sakeri uses only solar lights, about 5 watts for domestic lighting, and public lighting they use 24 watts of solar lights. Secondly, in cooking, they are completely dependent upon firewood consumption of traditional chulas. Average 2 to 2.5 kgs of dry wood are consumed per person per day. That depends upon the family size and the season which they are consuming. Kerosene is used for kindling as well as lighting purpose. Lastly, in agriculture, they use diesel pumps for pumping water. It is around 10 times per crop per year, and the average cost goes to 5,500 rupees per acre per year.
In directed research, we worked on cook stores, improvement of cook stores in 2 different areas, one in Aghane school and one at Vajpe village. In Aghane school, we worked on for us school children, and in Vajpe village we worked on domestic cook stores. Shashwat wanted to disseminate 200 cook stores in that region, and for that purpose they want us to make a mold which will be easy for the manufacturing. So considering Parvati, Lakshmi and Gru Lakshmi models, we tried to design 2 different molds. Parvati has an advantage of high heat transfer rate at first pot, but the linear composition of Gru Lakshmi is preferred by the people. So considering advantages and disadvantages and local needs, we increase the distance between 2 pots and some more options given to the customer oriented using. So with that, we manufactured 13 cement cook stoves and one earthen cook stove. So one suggestion was from our learning is that during the designing and improvement, women participation is very important, and also the traditional use of cook stove like drying of gongdi should be considered. Aghane is a school run by Shashwat for tribal students. In their meal, the bhakri is major constituent, and due to some 2 problems, the baking of bhakri was incomplete. So the first problem was inadequate air supply, and second was the falling of coal in the ash chamber. For the complete baking of bhakri, proper charcoal is necessary. So the reason behind that was the grate opening of the initial grate was more, that is 50%. So we made stainless steel grate with 30% grate opening, and with that the charcoal formation is happening. So after doing the two interventions of grate and draft control door to control the excess air supply in the chamber, now the result is bhakri is completely baked and student can have a good meal.
The second directed research was a study of diversion irrigation scheme at Kushure Budruk village. The objective was to study the diversion structures, identify feasible engineering interventions to solve the current problems. As we saw, saw the current problems faced were like seepage, highest amounts of seepage along the water channel. There was high soil silting which causes the passage blocking for the water flow. Also, the water extraction was quite unequal. So we proposed a via system which was of this configuration. We also proposed a water channel system for which consists of three parts: concrete channel, PVC pipes, and an open channel. This actually benefited around 42 acres of land, and this was presented to Mr. Londe, a senior engineer in small dams division working for government of Maharashtra. The direct benefits were like reduction in diesel expenditure, whereas indirect benefits like more amount of water storage and environmental protection.
Some conclusions we have from our study of 2 months. First is these villages are placed in very remote areas, so the transport and telecommunication facilities are very bad. It affects in the emergency areas. We have seen similar condition in the disaster management of the Malin village. Second is the health and sanitation facilities are very weak, and the implementation of the implementation during the toilet construction, the raw material is not provided properly. The last conclusion we have, in development interventions, social and cultural issues related to stakeholders should be considered.
As far as recommendations are considered, we recommend that substantial improvement in transport and communication is absolutely necessary for these villages. Secondly, the toilets need to be improved in aesthetics as well as monetary support should be provided for the villagers. Use of non-renewable energy, that is solar energy, should be used for domestic as well as street lighting. And lastly, the pipe water supply system should be provided for the villages as they lack the infrastructure for supplying adequate water. Thank you.